thought I bought yogurt. I'm not sure what this is. Very start of my walk, leaving the hostel, and I'm going back to the Pilgrim Center to find that first way marker to get a photo and then to officially start. Feels like, of course, I'm forgetting a million things. I feel empty without a walking stick, so that is on my list of things to do today, to find a stick if I can, hopefully. But it does feel really good to get started. It's a little after 8 a.m., which I don't know if that's a late start or not. This isn't a Camino, so we'll see. I'm so excited to see what this walk is going to be all about. Right at the start of the path, 643 kilometers to Aaraas, which is Trondheim. So here is my heavy pack. It is so full. I have so much in it. I think I have about 18 kilometers left to go. And look, there is, where is it? The first sign, or one of the signs. So I have to figure out from here where to go because I'm not actually sure. But I am heading off on the Gudbrandsdalsleden. I can't wait to see what it's going to be like. Well, so far, I mean, I am still right in the complex where the bishop's office is, and then the Pilgrim Center, and there are signs. So these, I guess, are leading me out. So I have a guidebook with me, but of course it's sort of deep in my pack at the moment. I did not plan that well, and I forgot to take photos of the first pages. I usually do that with a guidebook. If I have one, I'll just take photos of any information for the stage so that it's really accessible. But of course I forgot to do that. So I also have on my phone, I have the website, and there's a map that kind of shows where the route is, so I can always take that out and take a look, especially getting out of Oslo. I mean, that uses up data on my phone, but it is an option. Well, already I went the wrong way. I was following the signs, and there are plenty of signs, but then I just got this feeling I should check the map, and it's a good thing I did because I just started walking on the western route out of Oslo. Forgot that the path splits, and I am taking the eastern route to Lillehammer, and that's where the east and western routes meet up, and Lillehammer is about 9 days away. So trying to get back on track now. There is a sign right at the junction. Well, I totally missed that, but helpful to see. Sign for the Pilgrim path. Just found a marker here in the grass. Sometimes it's a little hard to see them because they're a little small and they kind of blend in at times, but the path is pretty well marked. Very well marked out of Oslo, I have to say. This is Ostra Church, and there's a little box here. Looks like there's a stamp. So it is also now possible to stay here, I think, at this church. I had read that there were no showers, and for my first day here on the trip and after traveling, I definitely wanted a shower. And I think if I had been to Oslo before, maybe I would have tried to stay here because it would have been really cool, but I like staying in Oslo. I'm stopping for a little break here at the church and right in front of this gorgeous cemetery. Oh, it's really beautiful. So my book said that cemeteries and churchyards are great places to take breaks because they're usually benches, and the water taps are safe to drink out of. So I just filled my water, and I found a bench in the shade, and I'm resting my feet. So I've only walked about 5 kilometers, which isn't that much, but it felt like a lot. I have to remember the first day of a walk, it's an adjustment. The first, the beginning of any walk is, and my pack is really heavy. It's really filled up. And walking out of the city, and I'm kind of walking into the sun, and I'm just already kind of hot and sweaty. So I took my shoes off, and it does feel good to sit. And like I said before, I don't have a big day. This is only an 18-kilometer day, probably about 20 kilometers starting at my hostel, getting to the start of the walk. So it's good to have a shorter day. Tomorrow is going to be a long one, but I think today I'm just going to stop and take lots of breaks and just kind of get to know this path. I've noticed right where there are some signs for my Pilgrim's path, I've also seen some yellow arrows, and I don't know if that's a coincidence or if it's intentional, but I like seeing the yellow arrows too. This is interesting. It says 623 kilometers, and my starting one was 643, but there is no way that I've gone 20. So, curious. Well, that was really nice. When I was pausing in front of the church, someone from inside came out and she said, "Oh, you're a pilgrim," and had me come in, and she gave me a stamp and offered me water. There was a bathroom in there I could use, which was great. So that is a tip for this walk, is to stop by churches, see if they're open. There's a lot of construction on that one. And so the woman said it didn't look like they were open, but they were. Going to find a shelter where I can sit and have lunch, and it's a little bit off the main path, but conveniently there are these markers. Well, I was looking for the shelter and I can't figure out what I did wrong, because I'm like in the middle of the woods. I'm not lost because I have a GPS, but I think the signs I was following were for a different shelter. You know what, let me walk a little bit because I see a sign, but now I just think I bypassed the initial one I was going for, so maybe I won't stop at a shelter at all, which is a bummer. It's really pretty in here, but I'm tired. Whew. This has been a really draining day. Surprisingly, I think I'm not used to carrying so much weight on my pack, so I better find my way back to the path and find a spot where I can stop for lunch. This one of the shelters would have been really nice. There were 2, but I don't know how much I want to wander around. There are mosquitoes. I'm getting bit. Well, I've been walking all around, and there's another sign for the shelter. I think I just kind of did a little loop. So probably the signs that I was following initially are for the shelter I'm looking for, and I just was following my map maybe too closely, and the map's not accurate because it kind of led me off where I thought the shelter should be. It took me away. So we're gonna try again and see if we can find the shelter. Oh, thank goodness. Well, that was not the easiest place to get to, but look how cool. It's very nice. So that's the shelter. And then there are picnic tables and a beautiful view. Yeah, it looks like that's Oslo down there, where I came from. My classic lunch of a ham and cheese roll-up, eating it with a beautiful view. And I am back on track Getting from the shelter back to the path was super easy. I think if anyone is going to try to find one of the shelters to eat at, you'll kind of see those markings. And I know I got confused, but just keep following the markings for the shelter. And it's really not as hard as I made it out to be. I think I was a little bit tired and probably hungry, so that always kind of makes things harder. So let's see what we have here. I think this is the summit of, let's see, this little hike I've been on. I don't know, it's just a map. That's cool though. I thought there'd be like a registry or something in there, but it's nice. Just in case. But I'm not lost anymore. Okay, time to continue down the path. Let's just finish up with our sign here. Oh, it's so pretty. Right here at the top, if you don't want to detour to a shelter, there are a couple of benches. And you know that there's no shade, but that would be a nice little break stop. This is where I'm staying, little bunk room that's got 2 sets of bunk beds in it. Just gotta get the door. So I am set up in this bunk, and then there's a really nice bathroom. If I could get the light on, there's the bathroom. And then upstairs, there's a little loft space that has 2 additional beds. So this place can sleep 6. This is the little hut where pilgrims eat dinner and breakfast. And there's a little kitchen with coffee and tea, a little fridge with cold water. This place is so beautiful. Oh, the farm and the property is just stunning. And look at this, mugs, even with the marker for St. Olav's Ways. Just a really, really cool place. Look at this feast that was just prepared for me. So they are fish cakes with potato and salad. There's some carrot and grilled onions, some kind of little sauce, maybe to put on the fish cakes. And for dessert, it's a panna cotta. And I am the only one here. I think there was maybe supposed to be another person arriving, but the woman who is helping out here for a few weeks, she said that it's kind of like 50-50. People who make reservations, 50% show up, and then the other 50 don't show up. So looks like it's just me, but hopefully it means I have a very peaceful night's sleep. And finishing off the day with a freshly picked strawberry.